with all the hype from this update, should we expect an open beta from Deadlock soon? Hey everyone, this is Connor here at Dead Unlocked, and I want to respond really quickly in a video today to a comment Yoshi made in response to a question on the Deadlock Discord server. User Isaac1222 asked, Yoshi, when will open beta happen? This is what Yoshi had to say. We aren't sure yet. We are mainly just taking things one step at a time and building the game out based on feedback from players. Open parentheses, which has been very helpful. The entire team is very thankful for all the input players have been providing. So a quick statement from Yoshi, but one that I thought warranted a video because this is going to be the question on everyone's minds after seeing the nature of the update. The update added so much depth and life to Deadlock, and I was listening, I think it was Ido or Deathy stream last night, and they were like, Deadlock is really starting to feel like a game. And I think that sentiment is kind of a legitimate one because everything that they've added to the game really does have it kind of feeling like this is a real game that is probably on the cusp of being ready for open beta or even maybe a full release. So I want to kind of break down my thoughts here on the open beta, when we should expect it, kind of what things we think may need to happen before we get an open beta, and just kind of my overall thoughts on the subject here for the channel. So, based on Yoshi's comments here, I think he's being pretty genuine. This has been a dev that's been extremely transparent with the community in the past. They have they've followed up with what they've said. So I believe Yoshi here when he says they really may not know when they're going to release an open beta. My guess, they have like a kind of like a Gantt chart going on, so something where it shows projects they need to complete with benchmark goal dates, and they're trying to reach those by those goal dates to try and have the game out by a certain time. But there's probably some flexibility there. But again, I don't know the inner workings of Valve and how that's supposed to work exactly. However, I think they're taking the feedback seriously, and I think that an open beta conversation is happening, and Yoshi's addressing it because it's probably not that far away. I don't think Yoshi would respond to a comment like this if the open beta was 6 months away or a year away. I think we're more like a month to 3 months away from an open beta if I had to guess. If you want my speculation and just another talking heads guess, my guess is that we get this in Q4 of 2025, so around November, December. My guess would be we get an open beta around that time. Because think about it. By that time, we'll have all 6 heroes released in the new update. They'll be plenty balanced, and there will be no kind of widely anticipated new content coming. I mean, we just covered some leaks on the channel where we talked about an escort game mode, some other things like that. And I think that is going to be part of it, but I don't know how in the immediate future that's going to be. But I do think there are some things, even though it seems like we're really close to an open beta, I think there are some things that we need to get through and Deadlock needs to add before doing so. So if I had to just speculate a few off the top of my head, we have a lot of room for cosmetics and any kind of monetization that is currently lacking in the game completely. Valve has no way to make money on this game right now. I have a feeling they're going to want to have something in place probably by the time we get to an open beta, or at least around that time. Currently, we only have one queue. So matchmaking is something that I think the devs know they need to give attention to. The matchmaking has been notoriously subpar in this game since its release in terms of the width of skill you get in any one given game. It's a little ridiculous. And so I think that will be something that they look at, whether that's a competitive queue, a casual queue, draft, other game modes to queue into, an ARAM, everything kind of in the realm of matchmaking, game mode types, and queue types, we really don't have much depth to right now. Now we have the hero priority system, which is cool, and that gets you into games. But beyond that, there really isn't much in terms of how do you queue, what games are you queuing into, etc. So I think that's an area, along with monetization, where we will see a lot more depth being added to Deadlock. Now, in the same way, I think there's a really good chance we get even more new heroes. A lot of people would wonder, the 32 heroes we currently have in the game, is that the final roster number that they want? It's a pretty good number. I mean, if you look at historic hero shooter MOBA style games, that's a great number of heroes to start with. It's not too overwhelming. Everyone still has plenty of options within each kind of role, and we don't even know 5 of the hero, the details of the heroes yet. So I think whether it's 32, 35, 40, somewhere in there, I think that will be probably the final hero roster count that we get prior to an open beta. But if that's the case and it's not 32, that means there is another somewhat major of an update that will have to get pushed through prior to the game being an open beta. That's just more time down the line, right? I imagine they take one more pass over at the shop. I think it's pretty much finalized, but you have to imagine they at least look at that, right? The hideout, there's a lot more things that could be added there. Again, so there's just a lot of little things, state of the game type things that I think need to get added. Once the heroes are all in, though, and they're all balanced, I think this question is going to become something that is on a lot more of the front of people's minds. When is Deadlock getting that open beta? It's a question I'm going to be asking myself. I'm going to be wondering about it because I think we all can understand open beta is a massive next step for this game. Because right now, just to remind folks, you currently can't just go into Steam and play Deadlock if you're just an average Joe. You have to have an invite. Now, I think those invites probably are pretty easy to get, but I've had ones at the beginning and I've never really thought about it since. So, you know, Deadlock becoming open beta and anyone being able to play the game will change the player base massively, and it will put the game on a trajectory that it is not currently on, even though it's on a really impressive trajectory right now, and the last update we got was uber significant, and I can't understand enough how happy I am with the update. I don't know if anyone watched my video where I literally got in like seconds after it patched. I was freaking out. I've probably never geeked out so much on this channel. So, I'm a huge fan of the direction this game's going. Don't let this come across as like impatient or trying to look for the next thing already. But because this question was asked, because Yoshi answered it, I think it's worthwhile for the community to talk about it, think about it, and start to kind of give their feedback as well. Yoshi says in this post, right, the entire team is very thankful for all the input players have been providing, and to me, I view this as kind of a way I can give my input and feedback back to the devs and be able to say to them directly, we're in no rush for an open beta, I don't think, but I would expect it to come in the next few months based on kind of the timeline we've been on now. I think any longer than that, you start to get some growing unrest and some impatience from the player base, and that's something I think Deadlock wants to probably stay away from if it can. So, wanted to hop on and quickly provide my thoughts. There's a lot more things I think could be added to the open beta. I know I'm going to publish this video and immediately look back and be like, oh, I should have mentioned this, and this, right? That's definitely the case. And that's the beauty of a game like Deadlock, is we really don't know the full breadth of what's coming, and we don't exactly know what to expect from that. So, really excited to see the future of this game. Wanted to provide a quick update today on the state of open beta, be able to kind of beg the question. Let me know in the comments what you all think of the open beta discussion. Are we having this conversation way too early? Should I just be focused on the update? What do you think of Yoshi's response? Let me know everything in the comments. Thank you all so much for the views, the subs, everything. We're really close to 1,000 subs. We can finally start making money on this channel, which will be great. Yes. So appreciate you all. And from our house to yours, we'll see you all next time here at Dead Unlocked.